Kenna and her companions are making camp outside of Stormholt Castle.
My home.
This day has been far too long in coming. We have returned, my queen.
Whether or not we can retake this beast of a castle is another thing.
It won't be easy, but from what you told me about the castle's vulnerabilities, I think we have a shot.
Do we really need to do this? Can't we just buy another castle somewhere even better?
Stormholt is not just a castle. It is our home. The time has come for us to reclaim it, though it will not be an easy task. Stormholt has never been taken in battle.
That's maybe true. All the more reason that we need it back. Even if it weren't my home, I couldn't leave such a strategically important fortress in the hands of our enemies.
Just then, Kenna hears a sound of horns blowing.
What's this?
Turning, Kenna sees a familiar figure approaching on horseback.
The flower of the Five Kingdoms, the jeweled sword of justice, my personal savior, Queen Kenna. It's very good to see you again.
Prince Tevin?
I'm the king now, and as promised years ago, my army is yours to command. I got your message that you were on the move. My army has been slowly drawing nearer, waiting for our moment to make a grand, dramatic entrance.
Tevin, thank you.
No, thank you, Queen Kenna, for saving my life. I owe you everything.
Today, we'll make Prince Marco Nevrakis pay for what he did to our families.
This has been a long time coming. I'll follow your lead, Queen Kenna.
Tevin bows to Kenna and returns to his men.
How about that? I never would have believed it.
I bet now you're glad we took the time to save him.
Very much so, my queen. We will need every last man today.
Speaking of which, let's review what we're working with.
Kenna and her advisors head into her command tent.
How many do we have for the fight?
King Tevin brought 205 Dominion warriors with him. 50 Rajkur monks have joined us. Damned if no word showed up from or how they even knew to come.
The monks have their ways.
Wait, the Rajka monks? Was my former training master among them?
See for yourself.
Gabriel holds aside the tent flap and calls out. A few seconds later,
Queen Kenna.
You're safe. I didn't dare hope. I'm so relieved.
Kenna embraces him.
I'm alive and well, thanks to your friend inside the castle.
Dominic?
He saved my life. He's a very interesting man.
I owe him a great debt. I never would have forgiven myself if you died because of me at Marco's hands.
Nonsense. It is my duty. It was my great honor to serve you, and it'll be my greatest honor yet to fight for you today.
The honor is mine, my friend.
The monk smiles and ducks out of the tent.
As I was saying, that's 50 fighting monks that your buddy there brought us. We have 500 fighters from Aurelia, thanks to Annalise. And a bulk of our forces from my men and the mercenaries, 2,000 soldiers and mercenaries, all ready to fight and die for you.
And all without pay. That is saying something. My queen, you moved them with your speech. You are a leader they can believe in.
Then we'd better not disappoint them.
Altogether, we have a force of 2,750 soldiers. We might just have enough to take this castle back.
Thank you, Leon. About our equipment, Annalise, you've been very generous. Our army has the best swords, shields, and armor that money can buy.
The golden mountain fang blades will cut right through the Nevrakis armor.
It's the least I could do. After meeting that loathsome Prince Marco, myself, any price is worth taking him down. When men like him rule, no good can come of it.
What support will we have from the technocrats?
In addition to my drill, we have 5 catapults from the technocrats.
You're very generous.
You're very persuasive. You've convinced me that you're the right person to lead this kingdom. And so we will do everything in our power to ensure that happens. Anyway, the real problem is going to be getting the drill to the wall. I didn't design this machine to be used under fire. It's pretty vulnerable to any attacks.
My men are ready to defend it.
That is one matter, my queen. The local townsfolk, they have seen our encampment. Many have heard of your journey. They are flocking to join the fight and restore you as the rightful ruler of Stormholt. Close to 1,500 have joined us already. That brings our army up to 4,250.
I hardly believe it. They're willing to risk their lives for me?
Is that so surprising? After all you have done, you are not the young woman I set out with. You have become a legend, my queen. A legend worth fighting for, a legend worth dying for.
Leon, can you see that they're armed and armoured with whatever we can spare?
Sure, the more the merrier.
Where will everyone be during the battle?
I'll be with my drill.
Whitlock, are you sure that's wise?
If something goes wrong, you'll need me to repair it. That's where I can be the most useful. So that's where I'll be.
I'll be with our main force, protecting the drill.
Raiden and I will be here, tending the wounded.
That's an ugly business during battle. You sure you want to get those soft hands all bloody?
Annalise's soft hands have patched me up more times than I care to remember. Trust me, there's no one better for the job.
I will be at my queen's side.
And I'll be with you all, leading the charge.
On the front lines? But that is far too dangerous. A single lucky soldier would be able to strike you down.
Nowhere will be truly safe.
Great.
And besides, this is my crown to claim. I can't ask my soldiers to risk their lives if I'm not willing to risk my own. That was one of the first lessons this journey taught me, back when Severin was holding us prisoner.
Kenna steps outside the tent, flanked on every side by her most trusted allies.
Well, this is it then. We're really going to attack Stormholt.
It's not too late for you to turn around. I would hate for you to ruin those beautiful clothes.
Clothes can be replaced. You, dear Kenna, are one of a kind.
If you told me, I'd end up going to battle for someone I tried to kill,
To be fair, I tried to kill you back.
I'd be insulted if you hadn't.
Whitlock, how is our mechanical friend?
Just making the final adjustments.
Excellent.
Kenna gives her bear an affectionate scratch behind the ears.
You going to watch my back out there, girl?
Severin catches Kenna's eyes and nods.
Let's see what you got, Your Majesty.
Leon gestures at a rack of weapons.
What weapon will you use for the battle?
Kenna selects the gear axe. She raises the gear axe over her head. Her army fills the field before her. Rank after rank of soldiers roars her name as they raise their weapons.
Prince Marco doesn't stand a chance.
We've waited years for this moment. We've suffered under Luther Nevrakis' evil and cruelty. Today we take the fight to our enemies. Today we take back Stormholt. Today we take back our home.
For Stormholt!
For glory!
For Queen Kenna!
The sounds of Kenna's army's cheers rings in her ears.
Today we fight!
Dominic is still locked in the dungeons of Stormholt with Sei and Ruka.
And so that's when I realized that walking through a cow pasture was not to be done in the dark. Not even a laugh? Not much of a conversation, huh?
I still haven't decided whether or not I can trust you, Lowlander. Even if you... Never mind.
Trust me or not, doesn't make all that much of a difference. We're both locked up in here.
In the distance, Dominic hears the sound of shouting.
Wait, did you hear that?
Suddenly, the entire castle trembles. The ground is shaking. Dominic tries to run out and falls.
It's time, Beast. Are you going to be good, or are you still determined to make my life difficult?
Come a step closer and I'll show you difficult.
Still fighting. I would be impressed at your determination, but, well, I'm not. Guards?
2 guards enter Sei's cell as she struggles as they try to drag her out. Frustrated, the guards start hitting her.
Ugh, pathetic. The village midwife hits harder than that.
You're lucky we're in a hurry, Savage.
Stop! Leave her alone!
Oh, aren't you a valiant one? Violence is the only language this brute understands. If she'd only told me how she uses the fire, we could have done without all this ugliness.
As the guards drag Sei out, she weakly lifts her head and looks straight at Dominic.
No one uses fire. You feed the fire and let it burn.
Sei turns back to Hex.
If I were unbound, I would ignite you where you stand.
Precisely why you are bound, my dear. Your fire will only go where I want it to. Come along.
After Hex and the others are gone, Dominic listens to the sounds of the battle raging outside. He strains at the bars of his cell, but it's useless. He's trapped.
I need to get out of here.
Suddenly, Dominic hears soft footsteps on the dungeon steps.
Dom, are you in there?
Rose, what are you doing here?
I'm rescuing you.
Hurry, before the guards come.
Rose rushes to Dominic's side and starts trying keys in the cell door's lock.
What's going on out there?
Everyone is rushing to join the battle. You won't believe it, Dom. It's Kenna. She's out there with an army. I don't know how she did it, but she's here. She's here to save us, to take back Stormholt. These dark times are truly over.
Just then, Dominic hears soft clapping from the stairwell.
How touching. How very touching. Did you really think this will play out in your perfect romance?
Oh no.
Bartel's hand clamps around Rose's arm.
Poor sweet little flower.
Hey, keep your hands off her, or I swear I'll...
You'll what? You'll do nothing, prisoner. You're both at my mercy, and unfortunately for you, I have none.
Bartel pulls a dagger from his robes and lays it against Rose's cheek.
Now, how strong are you?
Please, don't hurt her. I'll tell you anything you want. I swear.
Your lost queen is attacking at the gates, boy. There's nothing I want from you now, except to see you suffer. I wish we had more time, but the battle will be raging soon. Say goodbye, little flower.
No!
Get away from her!
Dominic feels anger rushing through his veins, and he stops fighting it. He feeds his anger to the fire inside him.
Burn!
Blue fire explodes, engulfing his arms. He grips the cell door's bar, and they melt like butter.
What sorcery is this? You can't!
I told you to get away from her.
Dominic flings a handful of fire at Bartel, setting his clothes alight.
Let go of me!
Rose shoves Bartel off of her. He flees, slapping at his burning clothes. Once he's gone, Dominic feels the anger flooding out of him. He collapses.
Dominic!
Rose rushes to his side.
Stay with me, Dominic. I can't lose you.
I'm alright, Rose.
I've never seen anything like that, Dom. It was incredible.
Our work isn't over yet. Get to safety. There's nothing more you can do.
What are you planning, Dom?
I'm going to find a way to bring down Stormholt from the inside.
Dominic bursts from the dungeons and finds an armed guard waiting outside.
What the?
He picks up his axe. Dominic blasts him with fire. He runs off screaming.
Gotta find Sei and stop Hex's cannon.
The guard's axe lies on the floor. Armed with the guard's axe, he races toward the courtyard.
I'm coming, Kenna.
The battle for Stormholt rages around Kenna, flanked by a dozen men with shields held aloft to repel a barrage of arrows. Kenna leads the drill toward the castle's side wall.
Protect the drill at all cost. Without it, we'll have no way of getting through the wall.
Yes, nothing's getting through.
Be careful, Kenna. It's dangerous out here.
Jackson, I'd almost think you're worried about me.
Well, you are our queen.
No one will stop us. Not today.
I guess I've got no reason to worry about you.
As the drill rumbles toward the castle wall, a wave of Neverkiss troops rushes forward to stop Kenna.
Get the false queen!
There are so many.
Soldiers of Stormholt, we must defend now!
Hearing her cry, Kenna's allies rally to her side.
I pledge my allegiance to you, Kenna. Now's when I make good on my oath.
You saved my life once. I suppose I'll use something for that. Although I prefer to pay you with Fedorian chocolates and not the blood of our enemies.
The ground shakes as the Mekator steps along beside Kenna. Barissa runs ahead, her huge teeth bared in a vicious snarl. Severin lumbers in front of Kenna, guarding her with his massive body.
To get to the queen, you have to go through me! We shall not fail!
The wave of Neverkiss soldiers is almost upon Kenna. She steels herself for the coming fight.
Time to show them what we're made of.
The armies collide together. A sea of swords and flesh and armor. Several Neverkiss soldiers slip through, charging at Kenna.
Not on my watch.
Jackson trips one and clashes swords with a second.
Die, scum!
I only take orders from Queen Kenna.
Kenna leaves a vicious hit across the side of the soldier's helmet, crumpling the metal with a sick crunch. Looking up, Kenna sees Jackson. The other two Neverkiss soldiers lay still in a nearby heap, bloodied from Jackson's sword.
My queen, are you harmed? Did he lay a finger on you?
I'm fine. I'm very glad to have you around.
Well, Duck!
Kenna ducks down as Jackson pulls a dagger from his belt and whips it just overhead. Behind her, a soldier she hadn't seen grasps at the dagger protruding from his neck. He topples to the ground with a crash.
Are you alright? I hope he didn't hurt you.
I'm fine, Jackson. Just next time we play Flinch, I'm betting on you.
I'll try not to disappoint.
Tavon finds Kenna in the chaos.
My lady, I wonder if you'd grant me a few minutes of your time.
He draws his rapier as several soldiers surround them.
What, right now?
I've been simply starved for good conversation these past 2 years. I thought the two of us might chat since we're both here.
You do know we're in the middle of a battle, right?
It said the greatest king of Fedoria could compose symphonies while he fought. Surely the two of us could manage simple conversation. Go on, we can even choose a subject.
Fine. Let's talk about Fedoria.
Ah, a fine topic. One moment.
One of the soldiers lunges at Kenna, but Tavon pierces him with a precise thrust of his rapier.
Right. Fedoria. Have you never been?
When I was little. All I remember was lots of purple.
Ah, the royal colors. Hang on.
A nearby soldier swings at Tavon, but he gracefully spins. Then Tavon slashes him from behind with a series of quick, precise cuts.
Beyond just purple, my home is also a land of bountiful gardens. Fedorians value beauty almost as much as we value knowledge.
Funny, I never associated you with knowledge.
Ouch! You wound me, dear Kenna. Your wit is almost as sharp as my blade. When you come visit Fedoria, I'll show you around the royal library in the capital. On your left!
Kenna turns, just in time to leap out of the way as a soldier wildly swinging his sword at Kenna. Her momentum, sending him barreling into Tavon. Tavon grabs him by the helmet and twists, snapping his neck.
I never knew you were capable of such things. Is this the same Tevin I found cowering in the halls oh so long ago?
Being king tends to make one grow up fast.
Kenna hears the screams of soldiers as the Mekatar plows its way through the enemy lines.
What in the three hells is that thing?
It knocks down the enemy soldiers like toys. Whitlock stands by Kenna's side, grinning.
I wasn't sure how the Mekator would handle multiple adversaries, but it's performing well beyond my projections.
The Mekator picks a soldier up by the leg.
Odd. I never thought of that.
It starts using the soldier as a club, slamming him into the soldiers. Soldiers get sent flying in all directions.
It's operating outside its parameters.
That doesn't sound good.
Suddenly, the Mekator's attention turns in Kenna's direction. It starts charging towards Kenna.
Whitlock. This'll help here.
Just hold your ground. It should know you're a friend.
It doesn't look too friendly right now, Whitlock.
Kenna stands tall, and the Mekator stops, its glowing eyes just inches from Kenna.
No, bad Mekator. Kenna is a friend.
The Mekator hesitantly holds his fist over her head, preparing to crush her.
No, bad.
It takes a step back.
Yes, friend. Good Mekator, good.
The Mekator lumbers off, swatting Neverkiss soldiers out of its path.
Can you make sure that never happens again?
I'll work on some modifications.
Who's a good girl? That's right, Barissa is.
Kenna scratches Barissa behind her ears, and she lets out a satisfied growl. Severin's meaty hands grabs Kenna by the shoulders, yanking her back just as a spear stabs into the ground she's been standing on.
Thanks, Sev. I owe you.
You want to repay the favor? Make me angry, tiny queen.
What? Aren't you always?
Don't ask questions, just do it.
Fine. I'll make you angry. You're a horrible fighter.
What? That's not true. That's all I do.
Severin's jaw clenches.
You couldn't even chop wood with those axes in your pitiful hands.
You insult my axes and my hands.
Severin seems to loom taller, his chest puffing out, his eyes bulging.
Have you ever done anything in battle?
Severin's whole body turns red with rage.
Roar! My whole life is battle. I am the battle. Roar!
Severin charges off, and Kenna races to keep up with him. He slams an axe into the helm of a passing soldier, cleaving his skull in two. Another one slashes at Severin's leg, drawing blood.
Big mistake.
Severin decapitates his attacker with a mighty swing of his other axe, the blood spraying everywhere.
Who else wants to die?
Meanwhile, another soldier tackles Kenna, sending her sprawling in the dirt.
Kenna!
Crouching with her back to the soldier, she shoots Severin a weak.
Huh?
It's time to end you, Queen!
Kenna grabs a clump of sand in her hand and whirls around, tossing it into the soldier's face.
My eyes! Oh, my eyes!
A moment later, Severin cleaves him with a swift axe blow.
Hey, didn't I use that move on you one time?
I learned from the best.
In the distance, Kenna hears the thunks of her technocrats-made catapults, firing at the enemy. Huge boulders crash down into the Neverkiss ranks, striking where the enemy is thickest.
Such accuracy. Truly, it is good to have the technocrats on our side. My queen! The sky!
Kenna looks up and sees a massive blast of bright blue fire.
Look out!
Kenna hears the screams of the soldiers who are hit by the blast.
What evil conjured this destruction?
At least it seems like it's hitting everyone. Our man and Marcos. They must not be able to aim it very precisely.
That's not a consolation to the men getting burned alive.
The drill is part metal, part wood. It can't burn.
And without that drill, we are as good as dead rushing at the castle.
What are we going to do? We didn't prepare for this, Kenna.
We should pull back. I won't waste lives.
But pull back and wait for what, my queen?
I'll think of something. I have to.
More explosions shake the ground as Dominic sprints into the courtyard. Hex adjusts the cannon's aim, laughing as another fireball arcs over the castle wall.
Poor little queen. She tried so hard, but no army can stand against me now. Not anymore. Prepare to fire again.
Lowlander, hurry!
Dominic rushes to Sei's side. Her hands are locked inside the cannon barrel. The shackles held closed by a large padlock. He slashes at the lock, scoring a deep gash in the metal.
Hang on, Sei. I'll get you out of there.
With one final swing, Dominic cleaves the padlock free from its shackle.
Finally.
At the sound of breaking metal, Hex whirls around.
You! Just what do you think you're...
Rah! Sei charges at Hex, smashing her against the wall of the courtyard. Hex crumples to the ground, unconscious.
You've no idea how long I've been waiting to do that. Now, Lowlander, I'll show you what this cannon can really do.